Good morning. I'm Ron O'Brien, Market and Derivative Strategist for Interfood Incorporated. I'm in our domestic headquarters in Miami, Florida, and this is your Global Dairy Brief for Friday morning, January 3rd, 7:43 a.m. on the East Coast. Well, getting right into the brief, we're going to start talking about weather. In the Northeast, they dealt with, I believe it was a storm called Hercules, nor'easter called Hercules. It dropped over 22 inches of snow in Boston overnight. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, affecting milk production and milk collection. Not only we see the snow, but also extreme temperatures throughout the Northeast and the Midwest, going throughout, finishing off this week, going into the weekend. On the other side of the world, though, not cold temperature, we're talking about heat in Queensland, Australia, 48 degrees Celsius yesterday. That's 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Normally, the monsoon starts in late December, January. They didn't have it last year, and it looks like they're not getting it again this year. So dry temperatures over there, extreme heat. We'll be watching that and how it could adversely affect milk production. So far, the production's been pretty good throughout the season. While we're on that side of the globe, let's talk about whole milk powder futures. They dropped $50 a ton in January, February, and in March on the NZX. We're looking at NZX WMP now in January at $2.25 a pound, and February also $2.25 a pound. SMP still hanging tight. We're $217.95 a pound in January, $215.69 a pound in February. So still those SMP prices on the NZX pulling our futures markets higher and keeping our cash markets for non-fat pretty well stabilized. We saw the International Dairy Market News Sheet come out yesterday. Essentially, Oceania prices were flat, but still higher than our prices. Going to back to the futures, we saw yesterday Class 3 up 45 cents in February. It actually was up 50. It finished 45 cents higher to 19.12. We saw the January contract up 32 to 19.66. Overnight, Class 3 futures are another 18, 16, 16 cents higher in the first quarter. So large short covering. We talked about that pessimism that was trying to be priced in, but with blocks, CME blocks at the exchange moving a penny and a half higher yesterday, no trading, traders felt more comfortable buying the futures contracts. We currently price Class 3 milk at 19.69 a hundredweight, and the January contract is now at 19.84. So all of a sudden they feel comfortable putting in a little bit of premium, and that 19.69 price is much lower than where we were last week because of the barrel price. Barrels were offered yesterday at $1.85, no trades. The block barrel spread now is 16.5 cents. So Class 3 futures steadied to 18 cents higher. We saw the AMS, or the weekly non-fat price, come in at $1.9785. So those weekly averages for non-fat continue to move higher. That helps support the Class 4 contracts late in the session. Right now we're steady to 10 higher. The February contract is 21.90. It was trading 22.30s a week ago, dropped down sharply earlier this week, but back to 21.90 last trade in February. And again, that Class 4 futures being priced off of butter and powder. Powder in February now is the best offer is 203.40. Last trade is 199.42. So the spread between bid and offer has widened a bit because of this weekly average continuing to move higher. And I think cash markets might have stalled out in the States, 206, 205, 210 a pound. But again, these weekly averages based NAS plus most buyers are paying are going to keep the futures, at least in the front, moving higher. Butter futures yesterday up strong. I believe we were up a penny in most contract months. Butter, we had March up a penny, April up a penny, May up a penny. So futures, butter futures trying to price in a little bit of a turn here. Cash prices at the CME were up 0.75 cents to $1.54 a pound. No real action on the Eurex butter contract. It's quiet this morning. But again, when we're talking about butter over at the Eurex, we're looking at 237, 238 a pound in January, 229, 230 a pound in April. So much a much more premium than where our April contract stands at $1.63. I don't think we're quite going up there, but again, fat is fat, and when with the shipping costs that we have now, we're likely going to see continued moving. We're likely going to continue moving our butter off our shores. We're talking about butter from November 2012 to May 2013. We had the biggest 6-month inventory build in butter. We went from 127 million pounds of butter in the States to 322 million pounds. Now, so May of 2013, we're at 322 million pounds. The latest cold storage report showed 121.4 million pounds. So almost pretty much 200 million pounds of butter we've worked through since May. Now, 121 million pounds of butter in November is it's not historically a tight market, but that size that dramatic drawdown has traders nervous about being short, and is likely bringing in not only global export demand, but domestic traders thinking about maybe not getting so cute about waiting for prices to get lower. So we're seeing a pretty good premium contango in the futures curve in butter. Not really much. Oh, I guess still talking about weather. Get back to weather. This I think Sunday the Packers play the Niners, and we're hearing the 30-degree below zero wind chills in Wisconsin. And for those that are comfortable with Fahrenheit, that's negative 34 degrees Celsius. So those that are thinking in Celsius, listening outside the country. So a negative 34 degrees Celsius. Or negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit up in northern Wisconsin later Sunday night, and looking like we have 118 degrees Fahrenheit or 48 degrees Celsius in Australia. So different, quite a dramatic difference across the world. Again, if you need me for anything, feel free to contact me. My info will be at the top of dairypost.com. I send out emails in the mornings, just shoot out pretty much the top stories, some milk pricing. If you're not on that email, make sure you forward me your contact information and I'll get you on it. But again, looks like we're closing out this week with higher dairy futures. I'm sure I missed something here, but other than that, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning.